Hi, welcome to Drum.Dog, and today we're talking about kit setup and the most common mistakes.
So the drum kit is kind of a complex instrument. There's so many little height and angle adjustments for every single part of it. It's really easy to not actually get it set up for the best for you to be able to play.
So number one is having the toms too far apart and too angled towards you. I think when you go into any school music department, this is what the drum kit always looks like. The toms are so far apart, it's like they've looked up the only drummer they know, and it's this guy.
Now I feel it's really often the pearl style arms that really encourage these angles just because of the way they kind of come out and it looks like they want to go either side. But the trouble is when that tom is that far apart, A, it becomes a problem getting around the kit because you've got like a 14-inch gap between your two toms. And B, with the heads on that angle, it's not only going to pit the heads and wreck them pretty quick, but it's going to have massive negative effects on the rebound of the stick coming back to you. If you think of the tip of that stick as a bouncy ball, you're hitting a surface that's angled like that, it's not going to want to bounce back up, it's going to want to bounce like towards you, which has all kinds of weird effects on your technique.
And you're going to spend a fortune on heads.
Yeah.
So the way to fix this really is just spend a bit more time with those pearl style holders. If you've got the ball and socket joints, yeah, you're laughing, undo, go. But with the pearl style ones, it's a balancing act between the angle of the arm and then where the drum sits on that. So you're still gonna have a little bit of an angle on them. You want to be perpendicular with the stick.
And now on to number 2, and it's pretty much the same thing, but this time down on the snare drum. I see quite often sometimes a snare that's really low, lower than the top of your legs and super angled towards you. So to hit it flat, you're going to end up with your arm like this and way down in between your legs.
Yeah, you're going to find it really difficult to get any kind of rebound off a drum with that angle. You're also going to be very difficult to get a decent rim shot, and you'll be pitting your heads again. And well, if you've got a bruise on your leg, that's a pure sign that your snare is the wrong height. So sticking with the snare drum, number 3 is not having the snare drum central to the drum kit.
Now the snare drum is one of the most important elements of the kit, and because of that you're going to want it dead in the middle between your legs, really symmetrical from your playing position with your hands. It's quite tempting when you're setting up a drum kit for the first time to kind of sit it off to the left a bit so you've got a nice kind of flowing line over the kit, but remember that snare should be slapped between your legs with the first tom directly above it, not to the right of it.
And right next to that is the hi-hat, which leads us on to number 4. So we're not talking about the height of the hi-hat specifically, we're talking about having it too far round to the left.
And while it can be tempting to bring that hi-hat in and really close to you, if you have it in too far to the left, not only are you going to mess up your left foot position, which is going to throw your whole kind of core balance out, it's really going to mess up with your hand position. With your right hand so close in to play it, you kind of get in the way of your left hand to be able to play more interesting patterns on the snare.
You're also going to find it really difficult to bring your left hand up for open-handed playing or 16ths.
Carrying on the cymbal theme into number 5, and that is having your cymbals too high, too flat, and done up way too tight on the stands.
Yeah, you get the feeling there's been a craze going around where you've seen a drum kit in a music video and the musical director wants it to look like it's come in a car showroom, you know? But ultimately, if your cymbals can't breathe, you're not going to get the best sound out of them. Depending on the cymbal, I've got a China which I really clamp down, but in general, you really want them to breathe to let the sound out and to protect them without breaking them. Number 6, it's the most common and will cause the most issues. It's simply sitting too low.
Now, it's a really easy mistake to make. A lot of stalls come pretty low from the factory. Some stalls are kind of difficult to raise up and make them stay there, but sitting low will cause so many issues. Not only is it going to mess up your foot technique because of the angles of your legs, it's going to encourage curvature of your lower back, and it's going to make you make so many of the setup mistakes we spoke about earlier.
And you're going to have to join Motley Crue.
Luckily, it is a super simple fix, so just raise that stool up and keep your hips higher than your knees. Now, as we said at the beginning, kit setup is a complicated beast, but it makes such an impact on our playing and our ability to play certain things. It's really worth spending that extra little bit of time to make sure you've got it right so it's not holding you back or causing any bad habits.
And it's such a personal thing. You really want to spend some time making yourself feel comfortable. When you adjust one thing, just think about how that affects the next thing along. Thank you for watching this video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Now, we're not talking about the height of the hi-hat. We're talking about having it too far round to the right, to the left. Okay, so we're not looking at the height of the hi-hat, but having it too far round to the right. The left!